Hello, you beautiful people. And James. And welcome back, guys. Today we bring you another new video. And this one is called I Sued the School System. And it is labeled 2023, but I think it is a bit older, but it is scary that it's still relevant today. And yeah.
Hey, if you're new here, welcome. If you're
hi.
returning, welcome back. In our comment section, every time we watch a video that has something to do with school, we get conversations going on saying, hey, take your kids out of school, do homeschooling, and stuff like that. If you want to continue conversations like that, we do have a Discord. Go on our Discord, we could chit chat there. Yeah.
All right. Look, that being said, we are currently at a goal of 10,000 subscribers. Smash that subscribe button so you can help us get there, followed by that thumbs up. And if you want to stay tuned to what we release, that bell notification must be turned on. That being said, I'm ready to go.
Okay, let's see if this applies to today. I know this video is an older video. Let's see how much it goes today. Let's see.
Albert Einstein once said, everybody's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial we have modern day schooling. Glad you could come. Not only does he make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots, do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish? Swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid, believing they are useless? Well, the time has come, no more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse him of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement, and if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it.
Proceed.
Exhibit A. Here's a modern-day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today, and here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today, and here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now, ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put students in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day, tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A letter which determines product quality, hence grade A of meat. I get it. Back then, times were different. We all have a past. I myself am no Gandhi. But today, we don't need to make robot zombies. The world has progressed. And now we need people who think creatively, innovatively, critically, independently, with the ability to connect. See, every scientist will tell you that no two brains are the same. And every parent with 2 or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why you treat students like cookie cutter frames or snapback hats, giving them this one-size-fits-all crap.
Watch your language.
Sorry, Your Honor, but if a doctor prescribed the exact same medicine to all of his patients, the results will be tragic. So many people would get sick, yet when it comes to school, this is exactly what happens, this educational malpractice, where one teacher stands in front of 20 kids, each one having different strengths, different needs, different gifts, different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way?
Yeah.
That's horrific.
That's exactly
They
what
should
it is.
like literally, yeah. The way it kind of should be done in a way, if you think about it, is look at the student, like people that have got the same like kind of like learning, like the ways that they learn, then have special teachers for like. I'm explaining it terribly. Like,
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. You can't sit there and teach 20 different people the same thing the same way.
Yeah.
Everyone interprets information differently.
Yeah. So out of that class of 20, maybe 3 or 4 will be like to be taught that way. And that's why in classes you don't have many that are at the top. The ones that are at the top are the ones that's how they learn. Whereas everyone else, like some people don't like to be just sat there. They like to be do stuff, be active when they're learning.
School's not for everyone. It's
No,
for
no, and
some. And the
and that's
some
the
that it's
problem in
for,
Britain
like you
as well.
said, grade A meat.
Yeah.
Schools, the people that school is for, they obviously excel because it's who they are. They're already hardwired to sit there and learn. Most of the kids, man, they're not gonna just sit there and learn. That's why they struggle. That's why I struggled. So
I don't agree with teaching every kid the exact same thing. It's pointless knowledge at this point. If a kid wants to dream to be an actor or dream to be an engineer or dream to be a doctor, he's forced to sit there and learn all this meaningless stuff just so he can reach his goal later.
yeah,
As a
that's
teacher,
true.
push their goals and their dreams at an early age to help them succeed later. They shouldn't wait until they finish school to find out who they are.
Like you said, like let's say if the kid wants to be an actor or a doctor, you got to finish all this pointless stuff just before you can even go to acting school or a medical school for your, you know what I mean? You got to,
Yeah, and the amount of debt that they get put in. Like, our doctors are all in debt. It's a disgrace, man. They save lives and they're all in debt. It's ridiculous.
Not only the debt thing, the other reason you shouldn't show kids that they should be held at a standard on a grade, because then you cause a lot of meaningless competition and it leads to other stuff. You know, you see a kid that's not interested in school, he's getting bad grades, it's just going to demoralize him just all the time. But reality, that kid is smart, but just in a different way.
Yeah,
exactly.
That guy's most probably like one of the greatest mechanics or something like that.
Exactly.
It's because he hasn't got a car to break down in school. He doesn't give a shit about where like the border on Mexico and America is. He's just like,
His hands were made for engineering, not holding a pencil
stuff,
and filling in a bubble.
Yeah. But
like they said, the system's been here for a long time, and there's no signs of change.
These different gifts.
Huh? Oh.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way? That's horrific. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed. And let's mention the way you treat your employees.
Objection. Overruled. I want to hear this.
It's a shame. I mean, teachers have the most important job on the planet, yet they're underpaid? No wonder so many students are short-changed. Let's be honest. Teachers should earn just as much as doctors, because a doctor can do heart surgery and save the life of a kid. But a great teacher can reach the heart of that kid and allow him to truly live. See, teachers are heroes that often get blamed, but they're not the problem. They work in a system without many options or rights. Curriculums are created by policymakers, most of which have never taught a day in their life. Just obsessed with standardized tests. They think bubbling in a multiple choice question will determine success. That's outlandish. In fact, these tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned, but don't take my word for it. Take Frederick J. Kelly, the man who invented standardized testing, who said, and I quote, "These tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
He said that. He's the one that created it, standardized testing, and he said it, and then he said it again. He says, don't take my word for it, take his word for it, which said the same thing he just said. Smart.
That background music is emotional, bro. I'm about to make me a good song.
That's crazy.
Sorry. So I'm just listening to it.
These tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we continue down this road, the results will be lethal. I don't have much faith in school, but I do have faith in people. And if we can customize healthcare, cars, and Facebook pages, then it is our duty to do the same for education, to upgrade it, change it, do away with school spirit, because that's useless. Unless we're working to bring the spirit out of each and every student, that should be our task. No more Common Core. Instead, let's reach the core of every heart in every class. Sure, math is important, but no more than art or dance. Let's give every gift an equal chance. I know this sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing impressive things. They have shorter school days. Teachers make a decent wage. Homework is non-existent, and they focus on collaboration instead of competition. But here's the kicker, boys and girls. Their educational system outperforms every other country in the world. Other places like Singapore are succeeding rapidly. Schools like Montessori, programs like Khan Academy, there is no single solution. But let's get moving. Because while students may be 20% of our population, They are 100% of our future. So let's attend to their dreams, and there's no telling what we can achieve. This is a world in which I believe, a world where fish are no longer forced to climb trees. I rest my case.
Wow. Wow.
Man.
Yeah,
It's it sucks that that the school systems are like this, and it's going to be like this for a long time to come, until
they'll never. Yeah, they're just.
Well,
They don't
Singapore. Hopefully, we could follow other countries' examples, because if they're changing the way they're teaching kids, then
Well, yeah, but one thing you have to remember is the way that our school systems are set up is money. Like it's good. You got high school, so they teach you the little bit, but then when you want the best education, you have to pay.
That's true. Not only that,
That's
but
what they
primary school, elementary, and all that. They're, like he said, they're literally getting you brainwashed to sit still for a certain amount of time, pay and listen to the person that's in front of you. Raise your hand. You need permission to do everything. Short lunch.
Yeah,
they're getting you ready for a
but I don't teach my children that, because like I tell my kids, like if you need the toilet, you be polite, you put your hand up, and then you don't ask. You politely say, "I need a wee. I'm going to the toilet," and then you leave. You don't ask permission because you need the toilet. And I'm like, as long as you're not going to be silly, you'll be allowed to do it. And if they have a go at you, tell them to ring me.
Right. The problem about the school system also, at a young age, they kill the imagination too early.
They do.
You know, I found out recently how important an imagination is. Even as an adult, to get things done, you first have to imagine it. If you kill an imagination at such an early age, they forget how to imagine things. Therefore, they only do what they are taught. And if you're teaching trash, they're only going to do trash.
Not only
But
that,
then also with like our education system, that's when then it also falls on the parent to actually interact with your child and let them use their imagination, like encourage them to do stuff. Yeah, because if you just pick them up, they get home from school. How was your day? Okay, cool. Eat. Right. Laters.
Right. You're doing it wrong.
You're not doing that. You're not being a parent.
Ask questions, find out what they're really learning, and see how you could try to improve what they've learned in a different way.
If you don't agree with what teachers said, bring them up on it. Like, you are their parent. Like, you have the right to talk to the teacher. Say, I don't like what you did with my kid. Don't do it again.
And if homeschooling is possible, I suggest it. People like, oh, what about friends?
With it, though.
Yeah, don't be lazy. And what about friends? Take them to the park like old days.